Calling this meeting to order. Hi everyone. I'm James Campbell. I'm the president of the Independent Neighborhood Democrats. This should be a short meeting, and I'll explain all the sort of rationale in a second. But as I always say,
Hey,
the Independent Neighborhood Democrat, and also if you're not speaking, also please mute yourselves. Regular Zoom rules apply. The Independent Neighborhood Democrats welcomes debate and discussion on topics of concern to the members of the community by candidates for office and others. IND believes in the right to free speech, but believes strongly that personal attacks, profanity, intimidating or threatening gestures or words, attempts to silence speakers, or similar inappropriate behaviors are unacceptable. Individuals engaging in such behavior will be asked to leave. Okay, with that out of the way, so in case you've been on like Survivor for the past month, which if you do that, I hope you got won the million. Um, our endorsed candidates or there's been a shakeup in our endorsement for president and vice president. As everyone knows, President Joe Biden has dropped out of the race, and President Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris has announced that she is running for president and is has now basically also secured the Democratic nomination. And with that, she has chosen Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota to be her running mate. And so, for that reason, currently within our rules, and this is literally the first time this could possibly have happened in club history, because the last time there was an open convention was 1968, before the club was founded, that we've had a situation where Aaron Doerr's candidate was no longer a candidate. So for that reason, we have to have a special meet, and also only the membership can vote to endorse candidates. So for that reason, we are holding this special meeting to vote to endorse Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Uh, with that, I just this way we can open discussion. The chair will now recognize a motion to endorse Kamala Harris for president and Tim Walz for vice president. Okay, I see a motion from Joan, and I'm going to take a second from Vicky. So, is there any discussion on this?
Yippee-ki-yay.
seconded.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Okay. Hearing that discussion is closed, with that, is there a motion to endorse by unanimous consent? Or okay,
So moved.
motion by Art, second by Vicky. Uh, with that, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, aye, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And Joe, I'm going to assume that you have your hand up from when we are doing the ayes. With that, we have formally endorsed Kamala Harris for president and Governor Tim Walz for vice president. Just two or like three quick things. So just because we're here, and usually we do this at our September meeting, but last week, the delegates met for nominating out the judicial candidates for Supreme Court, and usually we do endorse the slate that is chosen. And our own Martin Connor was the convention chair. I almost said secretary. I nominated the secretary, and he did a phenomenal job as always. With that, just so the everyone knows the list of nominees are Adam Perlmutter, Christopher Robles, Inga O'Neill, Jeffrey Sunshine, Keisha Lean, Lisa Lewis, and Sharon Hudson. Um, yeah, yeah. Uh, and so with that, is there a motion to endorse this slate? I see a motion by Steve. Is there a second? Second by Joe, or second by Marty, because he was chair. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, discussion is closed. And I've been told by a parliamentarian who is present that actually I don't need to ask for unanimous consent as a motion. So noted. But so all those in favor of endorsing the slate as presented for Supreme Court, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none? Okay, that's all done. We were gonna, so one quick thing. So Carlos, are you available to speak or are you still in transit?
I can speak. I'm ready.
Okay. So we have just a quick thing. This will take Carlos, I'm giving you like 5 minutes on this, okay? Because I want to have this a short meeting. Carlos is started a new initiative. I'm sure I don't have to tell anyone in this organization about Project 2025 and what we need to do to combat it. So I'm just going to turn it over to Carlos because he's working on some stuff.
Well, thank you so much, Seamus, and hello, everyone. Happy to be here. Thank you for giving me the time. So we hear a lot about Project 2025. It is scary. It is a dangerous document, blueprint about what that Trump and his people want to do if he were to win the White House. However, what I realize is that we need that information. It's scary, but it's either very broad bullet points or pages and pages of very specific stuff, or having to go to that document that's 900 pages and no one's going to read it. I've read some parts of it, and it is even scarier if you look at the details than what they're even saying out there. But the reality is that even still, I don't think many of us truly grasp the specifics of it in an easy and digestible way. So what I set out to do the past 4 weeks is to create a national campaign and movement, especially that is led by young people, that is to inform the American public about the dangerous and irreparable harms that Project 2025 is going to do to our day-to-day lives and in a digestible and tangible way, using scenarios about how life would actually look like under Trump's Project 2025. And I heard also from a lot of people that they want to do something about Project 2025. But what is there to do other than, maybe try to read the document or try to tell people broadly that Project 2025 is bad? Well, this national campaign that some of us young Democrats got together to create is not just for young people, but it is being led by a lot of young people. But it's for everyone to participate because the threat is so big, but we need a call to action. So basically, Disrupt Project 2025 is what we came up with. It is a grassroots movement really dedicated to educating in a digestible way and then mobilizing voters to defeat Trump and his radical agenda. Now, the way we do that is through three different ways. We have first, which is the educational part and sharing your stories. So once you go to our website, we have a beta website that's not public, fully launched. It's called disruptproject2025.org. And you inform yourself so you can more easily understand and grasp it. What do? You want to do something else. So the option is to share your stories, right? So we have scripts on our website so that on every social media platform, Twitter, and I will not call it X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, different scripts so that you can tell your story about how Project 2025 will affect you. And all of us will be deeply affected in many different ways. And then in that sharing, you tag 3 people on that social media platform so that they inform themselves of Project 2025 and they get involved to share their story. So it becomes a self-propelling educational campaign. The second piece is relational organizing. Nothing is more powerful than a person-to-person conversation or text message or phone call from someone you know, a friend, a family. It could be in your networks. It could be in swing states that you know. To start the conversation on our website, we have a script that you can copy and paste and you can follow to help have that conversation and lead them to educate them and then mobilize them against it. And the third part that funnels all that energy once this awareness campaign is direct voter contact. We need to knock those doors. We need to make those phone calls. And this is what on our website we will also be directed to, so that in your own state, where you can go out and volunteer, or if you want to go to a swing state or a swing district, that you have those resources to register to vote, to go out and get involved and especially to young people that feel so nihilistic about the future, or maybe their first reaction is not going to be knocking on a door, right? This is how we funnel that energy, and the way we're going to launch it, and that's why I love the support of IND for this. Is we're going to have a lot of political clubs, organizations, elected officials, and we're hoping to get some celebrities as well to launch it with a national launch that's going to happen on Monday, where every one of us, we're going to flood the internet, each and every one of us sharing, using the script on our website, why we are against Project 2025, how it will affect our lives, and tag 3Fans and talk about it using the hashtag Disrupt Project 2025. I'm going to be at the DNC, so I'm going to get more. This is going to be the start, the kickoff, so we can get more and more folks involved and aware. Everyone we talk to seems very excited by this idea, but this is not going to happen unless it's all of us together, because this is going to radically alter our future. We're having the Trump administration wants to monitor pregnancies and menstrual cycles. They want to put in immigrants in internment camps. They want to remove climate change as a word from every single document. So we have to put these tangible scenarios in about what a future would look like, where you can't go outside for 2 months on end because the heat waves are so bad, because they removed all of our possibilities to combat climate change, or that your phone is being monitored by a Trump DOJ, where they fired every single person from the FBI and Pentagon that is not their loyal list. So this is a threat, but this is the call to action. It is a full circle ladder of engagement and a call to action. And I would love for all of you to support and be part of it, especially on our launch on Monday. We're going to have everything on our website ready. I'm going to let IND know. But thank you for giving me the time, Seamus, and the board of IND and all the members. And I want to shout out Joanne, who has been such a huge supporter. She's been helping out there, helping us. When we talk about empowering young people, she really has been helping us so much with this. So I want to really thank her for that. So I'm open for any questions or comments. I hope I did under 5 minutes. I'm not sure.
Helen, I know Bridget then has a question, so
Oh, wait.
Go
So
ahead.
should I go first or
Yeah.
the other?
Yes.
go for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to find, I have a feeling that a lot of people already know about this. So sometimes when you talk to people and they already know about something, sometimes they feel insulted that you think they might not know about it. So do you have a way to present it so that the person doesn't feel like you're acting like they're dumb or out of the world?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a great question. And I think that the public awareness of Project 2025 has grown as like a very dangerous document. But what we seek to do is both get the people who aren't super aware or don't understand Project 2025 to understand it, and the people who do, give them something to do, a direct call to action. If you know about Project 2025, this is absolutely your cause, because you get to share your story on social media. You're given the tools to share it. You're given the tools to have
Oh, okay.
those text
So you answered the
conversations.
question. That's what you should do.
Yes.
If they already know.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you already know, it's a whole ladder of skills to get involved, to do something about it. Yeah,
Oh, that's-
absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
And we give you the tools.
Good.
Bridget and then John.
Carlos, I am a avid NPR listener, and there was a person whose name I do not remember on Brian Lair's show last week talking about this, and to further educate, which is a dovetail into the last question and your answer. Maybe you might want to call the producer for Brian Lair's show and get yourself on there. He's always very interested in, grassroots projects and things that involve the city. And it seems to me this is a prime thing. And since I personally heard the interview, I know that he was very receptive to the speaker that he had on last week.
Yes, thank you. I actually just wrote that down. Yeah, I mean, the plan is to reach out. So if you have any ideas, all of you can help, right? Sending those ideas and also getting people to come and support. If you know someone who would want to sign on, send them the website. We'll have things. If you want to help, we can actually connect with you. We need as many people to sign on. All you have to do is sign on, share your story, and we support it. But when it comes to Brian Lair, I wrote that down. There's also some other podcasts that we definitely have to go in contact. So that's going to be added to the list. go ahead. Who's next?
John, did you have a question?
No,
Yeah.
they touched on it already. I mean,
Okay.
Carla spoke to me about this
John.
initiative. Hello?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He spoke to me about this initiative a few days ago, and what I really love about it, it's just that it personalizes Project 2025. You know, like it's not just like an abstract thing. It forces the person to think, what would it do to me, and what would it do to you, to people that they know. So that's, but he touched on it already. So
Thank you,
Joanne?
John.
Yeah, hi. One thing that I wanted to just to clarify with you, Carlos, is that the link that was currently put in is still the beta link and is being substantially updated with more interactive stuff and videos and whatnot. So number one, I wanted to clarify that and confirm that. And then the other thing is that, the focus of who you're trying to bring in and educate, which could be, the educators could be people who are not young, but the real focus is young people knowing how this will affect their lives. So the student loan debt. That's why I think IVF has got to be mentioned, not just abortion, not just monitoring, but IVF, right? Very critical. Young Republican women want to have babies and need IVF, right? So that is something that I think is a key issue. Obviously, Department of Education, anybody who's ever gone to school needs to know about that. And disability rights, whether it's education, whether it's health, all of these things, and National Weather Service, will be doing, Sharpies on a map kind of thing. So I think one of the things that is critical is making sure that the examples are the kinds of things that play to young people's lives, and that all of us who aren't necessarily young people understand that that's the focus of this effort, is to educate young people to get them out to vote.
Yes. So thank you, Joanne, for touching upon it. And yes, this is the website that you see is the beta version. It's going to look really, really much better. But this is just so you see the concept. And we'll be adding more of those scenarios as well. It doesn't have all the scenarios. We will be adding that. So thank you for clarifying, John. And yes, and this is a movement kind of tailored to messaging for young people. However, everyone can and should be part of it and share it, even though it's tailored more to young people. Everyone should share their story, and we're going to have people of all ages who are going to be supporting us in our launch and who are going to be signing on. And I encourage all of you to be a part of that. And if you know someone, whether it's elected, obviously Joanne's already on board with any elected officials, political organizations, or influencers or leaders that you might have a relationship with, and you can send them, it's like, this is a beta, do you want to send on? That's the way you can help to our launch. And you let me know, let Seamus know, Joanne know, whatever, and we can leverage that. That's how you can also help in the launch, all of our relationships together, so that this becomes a self-propelling movement.
You want to mention some of the people who have said they will? We haven't gotten them formal yet, but
yeah. So we have Congressman Dan Goldman, we have Congressman Nydia that also said she wants to be a part of this. Obviously, we have Joanne, we have Andrew Gennardis, we have Justin Brannan. We're talking to Chuck Schumer's team. They're very likely going to support us as well. Tish James is very interested in supporting. The New York State Young Dems are very likely going to support us as well for this launch. We're talking a lot of people. We're even in conversation with David Hogg. So this is catching on in different parts, and there's so many more, right, that we're trying to confirm and get down. So this is catching on. We have all the chapter presidents in New York City for the Young Democrats as well. So this is catching on, but I need the help. I need every single one of you on Monday to get ready for that launch.
So Carlos, also, Gillibrand is, we're talking to them, and obviously Tish and Hakeem's people. So, and all are very interested in it, and but they're like finalizing things with their team, yada yada. But the other thing is, when I talked to David Hogg, I suggested Maxwell Frost needs to be involved in this. And when I talked to Louis Miranda Jr., he also said, Maxwell Frost. So if you know people in office, you have a contact, out of New York State, because if it's 2 New York Democrats, we're not going to necessarily be able to expand as much as we'd like. So if you know somebody out of New York, that's great, which is one of the main reasons I, tried to bring on David and Maxwell, because they're Florida, right? And I know them from gun violence and whatnot. But you know somebody from another movement, please do reach out to them. Carlos can talk to them. I can talk to them. Some other, folks involved with this can as well. So.
Yes, thank you so much, Joanne, for that. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump, JD Vance, they're running away from Project 2025 because it is their biggest weakness, which is why we have to hammer it. They are running away because they are scared. That is on the margins of what this election is going to be decided. It's going to be exposing the radical agenda. Trump and his people are hoping that we don't believe them, or hoping the American public doesn't know. And our job is to ensure that the public knows, and they cannot run away from their plan. And there's a leaked video that just came out that I just saw about the heads of Project 2025 saying about the relationship with Trump, how close they are, how this is the manual for them. And they just publicly are saying these things because in reality, that is going to be the manual they're going to use. And in France, this was effective. Le Pen and her far-right movement tried to run away from their agenda. And the liberals and progressives did not allow them to run away from them. They made it real to people. And I believe exposing Project 2025 every single day is the way we went.
Just one note, Carlos. Tara mentions that have you reached out to Sister District NYC for partnership/support? So maybe something to follow up on later.
No, but that would be great. Please send me that. And I also want to shout out Seamus. Seamus has actually been hugely supportive. He's worked on our website. Very thankful. It's young, a lot of young people, young Democrats. So IND has been really helping so much in this, and I really, really appreciate it. So it's a team effort, and I really, really believe that this is going to catch on in a big, big time, and we're going to be able to make a huge impact in this election.
Great. Thank you, Carlos. And sort of as Carlos mentioned, IND has signed on as a partner in this initiative. So, we are looking forward to seeing how this goes. And of course, we'll be there to help however we can. So a few last minute items before we can adjourn. So firstly, not sure if anyone saw the news last week, but IND is the 6th most powerful club in New York State. Yeah. Which is pretty awesome. If anyone didn't see the article, I'll put it in the chat. And I was actually able to get in touch with the editors, and they got us a few free copies. So if anyone really wants a copy of the magazine, please email us info@indbrooklyn.org, and I'll try to get it to you. Yeah, it all arrived in the mail yesterday, which is pretty awesome. Second thing is, of course, Carlos mentioned DNC is next week. Sure, everyone's excited to see all of it. Of course, IND actually has, according from what Joan and I have been able to figure out, the single largest delegation of any political club in New York State, which is also pretty awesome. And with that, I am right now trying to organize a giant IND photo. So hopefully we'll be able to get that to happen. And then with that, also, there is a bunch of the Democratic clubs across New York City are having a watch party. I'll put the link in the chat for anyone who wants to sign up for that. Just a great way to mingle. No obligation to go, just, great way to be with fellow Democrats and cheer on our ticket. Oh, yeah. Bridget suggests that everyone that has them should bring their T-shirts if they're going to the watch party. And
Chicago.
Well, no, Chicago, I've already told those people.
Oh.
Yeah. Joanne, you're muted.
So I do understand that those of us who are delegates should bring our IND T-shirts with us to Chicago. But I did want to mention that there are tons of these caucus meetings and breakfasts and whatnot, and way too many events. But I'm going to be speaking at I know it's going to sound stupid, the New Mexico breakfast on Wednesday, because they've gotten us time, and we have a booth. for the National Infrastructure Bank, which I've been boring you all with. But it's really critically important. So I'm going to be presenting there and maybe at a couple of other locations about which I don't even know at this juncture. But we will have a lot of the top people coming to our breakfast and speaking. I just hope to God that people speaking when I'm at the New Mexico breakfast are not people I can't miss, right? But in any event, I think it's going to be a really incredible convention and a lot of security at this convention. But so we're between launching Project 2025, fingers crossed, and being engaged in some other activities. That I think we'll have a lot of activity from our congressional delegation, as well as other delegates in New York State around the state.
And not to jump on or diminish Joanne, because also New Mexico is actually a pretty awesome state. I will be honest, not as good as New York, but still.
Yes, it is. It's a smaller state, but they're very big on this, and they've gotten state resolutions, and they've gotten us. We've gotten a couple of presentations at various things because of them. So they've been very good.
But so I'm not sure if this is completely public yet. And so if this may be maybe get myself in trouble, but whatever.
Please
I
don't.
actually am also I'm actually going to be a speaker at the DNC Disability Caucus meeting on Thursday. So
Great.
yeah. So there's a panel event happening there.
I've signed up.
So you get to see me up on the dais. Helen.
Oh, I just wanted to say that that Dan Goldman was mentioned, and I'll just say that he took certain views on Middle East, which I wouldn't exactly agree with. And a lot of young people who were not going to vote weren't voting because of Biden's positions on the Middle East. So I think we could probably get, I mean, if
Helen, is this relevant to the discussion of the DNC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, it's relevant to the discussion that we had before about getting.
Since we moved on from that, I'm going to rule that sort of not germane to the current.
We're going to get a lot of people, though, Helen. So I wouldn't worry if he's part of the mix.
Well, there are demonstrations every Tuesday and Thursday in front of his office.
Very aware.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just two very quick things. One, of course, we have a lot of elections up and down the ballot happening nationally, state, locally. So there's going to be a lot of events happening. Check our calendar, check your emails. Right now we have the calendar from because we're working in the group called Vote Blue. We have the calendar of dates that we're going. I don't know quite like logistics on where we're going on each of those dates, nor basically the meetup times to get on buses. Once I have that all solidified, we will be sending that out. Additionally, I've been in touch with Councilman Lincoln Ressler. He's been trying to work on some trips out to Long Island for the 4th Congressional District, which is the South Shore. And there's going to be, and of course, we got a friend of the club, Chris McCrate, is running for assembly against a former Democrat. So we're going to be helping out there. And and last but not least, Iwan Chu, who won by basically a hair last year, or 2 years ago, really needs our help. So I'm trying to organize some dates there. So once we have all that, everyone will know. And of course, if anyone really wants to start doing stuff right now, best place to go is just mobilize.us, and there's basically ways to volunteer from your home or just go into other areas, things like that. And last but most certainly not least is next month we have our annual brunch, which we are bringing back. Because it was actually such a hit last year, we are bringing back the jazz brunch that we had. So we're going to be at the same spot. We're having it on September 8th. Hopefully this time it will not be a rain out just before. We have some phenomenal honorees, and I will put the link to sign purchase tickets in the chat. Many of them are no strangers to this club. Councilman Lincoln Ressler, Matt Mazzone, who some people may know is the owner of Mazzone Hardware in Carroll Gardens, friend of the club. Dawn Party is one of the honorees, and well, certainly last but not least, our own Alyssa Meyer is the last of the honorees. Certainly well deserved there. So please, everyone, this is our big event of the year and is what actually helps fund all of the events and work that we do as an organization. So please, everyone, if you can make it, please buy a ticket. If you can't make it, or over there. Hold on, my mom's getting a phone call, and yes, that is the Fordham fight. So okay, so that's out of the background now. And don't ask about why the Fordham fight song is my mom's ringtone. But yeah, so this is the big event that basically helps fund all of our political activities for the rest of the year. So it really is crucial that we get whatever support we can get. And of course, yeah, I'll mention that in a second, Susanna. So yeah, basically, yeah, that's everything I had now. I just lost my train of thought. Susanna had mentioned that in the chat. James, can you announce that Joanne is doing a school supply drive for Gowanus Mutual Aid and Save 63 Tiffany, and to please bring any donations to 341 Smith Street. So, yeah, if anyone has any school supplies that they can donate, please go to 341 Smith and help with the school supply drive. And Joanne, anything you want to add with that?
No, just that, we need the insides of the backpacks as well as the backpacks. I've ordered a bunch, but there are just lots and lots and lots of young kids who need backpacks for school. But also, if you are not getting backpacks and you can get, notebooks and pencils and crayons, that kind of thing is also very important.
And Shefali asks, is there a way to donate funds or to order something directly from Amazon?
Yes, you can have order something from Amazon and have it delivered to my office. Is one way, or have it delivered to your home and bring it to the office. That's great.
Perfect. Yeah, and also Shefali, you mentioned, I can't believe this passed my mind.
Phone banks.
There are phone banks 3 times a week. New York for Biden, or now it's actually New York for Harris. I have to get used to the new name. I apologize. I'll re-put it in the chat. But they're doing phone banks, for various causes, including make sure that Kamala Harris gets elected. They're calling in swing states. I know they're calling for the ERA, which this club has endorsed wholeheartedly. So any ways that you can help get involved there is always greatly appreciated. So anything for the good of the order? With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Joanne, seconded by Art. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Hearing none. Any abstentions? Great. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. And go Kamala.
Yay! Thank you.
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Let's go. Go, Kamala.
Good night.